Santiago, está sin vuelo.
Okay, students, good morning. Good morning, everybody. We're going to quickly start with the class for today. I'm going to put the plan of the day. The class for today is vocabulary class. And for today's class, we're going to start with the new vocabulary words, which are going to be week number 3 in the model number 5. Then we're going to go ahead and work on, well, I'm going to explain the words. Then we're going to work on a Pictionary. And finally, we're going to do an activity with the vocabulary words in Pearson. We're going to go to Pearson, okay? So that's what we're going to do for today. The material that you will need is going to be your Pearson book. Then you will need your notebook. You also will need the colors and pencil. Okay, and your homework for vocabulary, it's going to be to work on the word meanings of vocabulary for week number 3, model 5. Okay, that's going to be the homework for today. To have the meanings in the glossary, you have to look for the words in the glossary, and that's going to be the homework for vocabulary, okay? So that's what we're going to start doing. We're going to go over the vocabulary words. We're going to explain them. Then we're going to work on a Pictionary. And finally, we're going to go ahead and work on Pearson book, okay? Everybody, welcome. I'm going to quickly take the list. I'm going to stop sharing here. And I'm going to take the list of the people that are in the class. Okay, first of all, I see here, I'm going to take the list. I'm going to open your microphones to the people that are in the class. I'm going to open your microphones so you can start talking and you can say present. Remember, everybody has to be in silence. Everybody in silence. And when you listen to your name, you say present, okay? You say present, students, so I can go ahead and put your attendance list. Okay, I will open your microphones. Everybody silence, please. Eduardo?
Present.
Luis Pablo? Luis Pablo? Luis Pablo?
Present.
Very good, Luis Pablo. Santiago?
Present.
Silvana?
Present.
Julie?
Present.
Nancy?
Present.
Elena?
Present.
Leah Fernanda?
Present.
Bruno? Bruno? Maria Ángel?
Present.
Very good, Maria Ángel. Elisa? Alondra? Alondra is not here, right? Okay, Alondra. Jimena?
Present.
Marco? Marco? I see Marco there. Leah Nicole? Leah Nicole? Okay, I don't see Leah Nicole. Okay, there's Leah Nicole. Pablo?
Me?
Yes.
Present.
And Lyra? No, Lyra.
Oh.
Okay, very good, students. Welcome to the class today. So I'm going to close now your microphones. Everybody should be silenced. Okay, very good, very good, very good. So we're going to start, students. Everybody paying attention. Okay, so what are we going to do today? We're going to start with the vocabulary words. I'm going to share you the new vocabularies that we're going to be looking for today. Let me open the page here so you can start observing the vocabulary that we're going to be working with. So the vocabulary that we're going to be working for today are the following. Let me put here, I'm going to open the book, and it's going to be for week number 3. It's going to be on week number 3 that we're going to be working on. And everybody paying attention, page 88 and page 89. Okay, let me open my Pearson book. Let me open my Pearson book so we can start looking at the words. We're going to work on with the unfamiliar words. The unfamiliar words are words that are not very common, words that are very strange, that are different, that are words that are not so common with our normal vocabulary, no? They are words that can be, let me open here. Okay, the unfamiliar words are words that are not so common, that are like, we could say a high vocabulary or a high lexic. There are words that we don't use a lot because we do not know them. So that's what's an unfamiliar word. They're words that are not very common in our vocabulary. So that's what we're going to work today with the unfamiliar words. Let me open the Pearson so we can go through the words that we are going to be watching today. Okay, on week number 3, and we are going to go to the page 88. Page 88, okay, let me, here, page 88. Very good, so we're talking about unfamiliar words. Before I explain you this, let me go through the words. I want for you to observe the words that we are going to be looking at. Okay, the words that we are going to be looking at are tract, rappel, foresaw, ridge, coil, descent, void, and shaft. Okay, right now we're going to get these words and we are going to do them in a word. Here, we're going to open a word and we're going to do together a Pictionary. So you can go ahead and work on the Pictionary, okay? So here I'm going to put the vocabulary. Okay, vocabulary, Pictionary. Pictionary for week number 3, model number 5. Okay, that's the title for the activity that we're going to be working right now. And we're going to start with this Pictionary. So I'm going to put number 1. Right now we're going to do all the Pictionary. You have to draw. You have to go ahead and draw the Pictionary that we have. Yes, Leah, what's the question? Yes, you have to copy in your notebook the Pictionary.
No, the word.
Right now I'm going to put them. Yeah, you have to copy them also in your notebook and put the definitions, okay? But right now we're going to go to that. Let me explain you first the part of the unfamiliar words before we go into the Pictionary, okay? Let me explain you this part and then we are going to go to the part of the unfamiliar words, okay? So let me read here. Let me read the first part of the unfamiliar words so you can understand them. It says, vocabulary strategies for unfamiliar words. Okay, we're going to learn this. This is the main topic, the unfamiliar words. So it says context clues. Sometimes you can use a context clue or the words in the sentence around the unfamiliar words. Yes, Elena, what's the question? Elena, open your microphone. Yes, Elena.
I can go to the restroom.
Hurry up, Elena, again, hurry up. That's why you have the breaks. The breaks are for you to go to the restroom, Elena. Hurry up. I'm not going to stop, but yeah, you can go. It says, context clues. Context clues are sometimes, you can use context clues or the words in the sentence around an unfamiliar word to help you figure out its meaning. That means that with the context clue, you can figure out the meaning of the word. Read the words and sentences around the unfamiliar word to see if the author has given you a definition of the word. If not, say what the sentence means in your own words. Predict the meaning of an unfamiliar word. Try that meaning in the sentence to see if it makes sense. If the context clues don't help, you can look up the word in the glossary or in a dictionary. Okay, right now we're going to read the climbing, and we're going to go ahead and check on the context clues with the unfamiliar words. Okay, so those are the unfamiliar words. Remember, they're words that are not so common. They're words that are not very familiar. And we can understand the unfamiliar words by looking at the context clues or by looking at the previous sentences. Maybe sometimes the context clues or the previous sentence tell us what the word means. It gives us like a little definition of what the word can be. And that's how we can figure out the meaning of that word. So we have to be very pending, or we have to be very, very into the reading when we are going through an unfamiliar word, in order to identify what the author wants to give us or tell us with that word. That's why we need to be very, very, like, we need to be very concentrated when we go to the unfamiliar words, when we are talking about unfamiliar words, okay? So now, we're going to start reading this part, which is the climbing new heights. We're going to read this little story, and then we're going to start making the Pictionary for the words, okay? First, we're going to read it, then we're going to write the vocabulary words, and at the end, we're going to do the Pictionary for you can have it in your notebook, okay? Remember, these words, you have to look for them in the glossary and put the meaning of the words, okay? But first, let's start reading. Okay, I'm going to read the first paragraph, and then I'm going to be calling students to read with me, okay? It says, George Dunn, okay, climbing new heights. George Dunn was trekked across flat glaciers and climbing steep mountains for more than 30 years. He grew up in an area around Seattle, Washington. George's parents foresaw their son's lifelong passing to climb up and rappel down mountains. Okay, so we're talking about George. George was raised or grew up near Seattle in Washington. Seattle is a city that it's near Washington in the northern west part of the northwest part of the United States. It's one of the last states of the United States. And George grew up with his family doing rappel and foreseeing their lives passing through climbing mountains. That means that George always had climbed mountains. Yes, Jimena? What's the question?
I read the when you say the second paragraph.
Yes, right now you will read. Okay. Leah, what's the question?
Hello, Jimena, can I read?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Amsi?
Can I read?
Okay, right now I'm going to tell the people it's going to be Jimena, Leah, and then Amsi. Okay, Jimena, you can start reading. I'm going to open your microphone, okay? Where are you here, Jimena? Okay, start reading, Jimena.
Sun is never happier than when facing a ridge of a mountain in distance with a coil of rope over his shoulder. George has climbed to the top of a Mount Rainier more times than any other human. For it's for
480?
480 summits and counting, and he has a made descent from some of the highest peaks in the world. Someone of his favorite place to climb are the Swiss Alps and the peaks of Peru.
Very good, Jimena. Very good. Thank you so much. Thank you for reading that part. So in that paragraph that Jimena read, we are talking about ridge, coil, and descent. Ridge can be like mountains, a lot of mountains together. Coil can be a rope because it says a rope. Coil can be like a rope. Descent is like to go down. Okay, so those are the three words, and there we have some context clues that help us understand the meanings. Here, rappel is also like to go down a mountain. Remember, the context clues can help you understand what the meaning of the word is, okay? Now, let's see, Leah. You're going to read from dawn all the way to world, okay? So, Leah, your microphone is open.
Okay. Don likes to share his knowledge and enjoying of mountain climbing, rock climbing, regularly and ice climbing with others. He is an expert
Guys,
guide. He helps train amateur climbers that they can experience a feeling of sitting on top of the world.
thank you so much, Leah. Thank you so much for reading that paragraph. Thank you. Now, Amsi, you can read the last part. Don teaches. Amsi, your microphone is open.
What climate can be dangerous?
No, over here where it says Don teaches safety.
Don teaches safety and responsibility too. He doesn't know what his students falling into a pond between two rocks or jump south of a glacier.
Okay, very good, Amsi. So the story basically is of a man that is hiking. He is going through the mountains. He is very passionate with what he do. He teaches other people to climb. Yes, Luis Pablo, what's the question?
What page is?
Page 88 and 89. Okay, so students, going back to the story. So we're talking about George Dunn, who is an expert in climbing. He's an expert in doing what he likes, which is climbing. He also teaches other people. There he is, George Dunn. And you can see the mountains there, how he climbs, where he is in Seattle, Washington, but he likes to go to the Swiss Alps and the peaks of Peru to climb. So it's a very adventurous man. It's a man that is climbing all around the world. That's very interesting. He's very brave. He's a person that always likes to teach what he knows. He's a teacher in the climbing, and he shares his adventures with other people. So he helps train amateur climbers. That means that he's a teacher in climbing. He can teach the other persons to climb. Okay, students. So I'm going to stop sharing here, and I'm going to go all the way to the word. Everybody labeled your vocabulary notebook with this part. We're going to label it like this. We're going to put, okay, I'm going to put Mr. Miguel, and then I'm going to put the title, it's vocabulary Pictionary. Then the date, it's going to be it's Thursday. It's Thursday. Okay, let me erase this. Thursday, May 7th, comma, 2020. That's the date. And we know that the value for today, it's perseverance, okay? So the value, it's perseverance. Okay, so that's what we're going to put here in the combo. That should be your combo. Then we're going to put Pictionary. We're going to put number 1, and we're going to start with the Pictionary. The first word for the Pictionary, it's going to be the word coil. Coil, okay? Coil. Then we're going to, I want for you to leave a space there. Right now, we're going to put the picture. We're going to do the Pictionary right now. Luis Pablo, what's the question? You don't have questions?
No.
Okay, thank you. So that's the word number 1. The word number 2, remember to leave a space because we're going to do a drawing. Descent. Descent. That's number 2. Lia Lagarda, what's your question?
How many spaces?
You can leave, I don't know, like, for example, here in the bottom, you can leave three lines, but here in between, you can leave like, you can divide your notebook into 4. For example, that's in the first line, you're going to do number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4, like that. For example, number 1. They're not 4. They're like 8 words, but I'm going to be writing, for example, in the first line, you're going to write 4 words, and then on the second line, you're going to write the other 4 words, okay? So like that, descent. The second word, the third word that we're going to be looking at, it's going to be foresaw. Foresaw. And then for number 4, we're going to be looking at the word which is rappel. 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 Okay, those are the 4 first words. Those are the first words. Then we are going to go to the second part, number 5. Word number 5. We're going to put here rich. Then word number 6, we're going to put, shaft. Shaft. Then word number 7, we're going to put tract. And the word number 8, it's going to be void. Okay, that's the word number 8. So we have the 8 words, which is coil, descent, foresaw, rappel. Then we have the word which is rich. Okay, I'm going to put here coil like that again, coil. Okay, coil, descent, foresaw, rappel, rich, shaft, tract, and void. Those are the 8 vocabulary words, okay? So start copying those words. Leave a space between each word so we can draw the little images. I'm going to put some, the images, I'm going to take them from the internet, but you can go ahead and draw them, okay? You can draw them. Let me just go and open here some images so you can go ahead and draw them. Let me open here. And I will leave you some time so you can finish the drawings, and I'm going to put you some music, okay? But let me just put the images. So we are in the coil. I will put you an image of coil. Okay, a coil can be like this, look. It can be a rope, but it has a lot of, like this. I'm going to put an image there, okay? To coil, it's like when you have something like this. Okay, I know it's too big. Don't worry, I'm going to do it smaller. Okay, it's a rope that it's like, in English, in Spanish, we know it's como Es una cuerda trenzada. That's a coil. Okay? That's coil. Now to descend, is like to go down. So we can put like this. This is a good example. So I'm going to put it here. That's a good example of descent. Let me just put it like this. We can do it like this. Okay. That's to descend. Now, forza. I'm going to put the word forza. Everybody start copying the images. Forza. Okay, Jimena, what's the question?
You can put music.
Huh?
You can put music.
Yes, right now I'm going to put music. Let me finish the images and then I will put music.
Okay.
Very good. Okay, now, Amsi, what's the question? Let me open your microphone. What's the question, Amsi?
We color.
If you want, you can color.
Okay.
Okay, Julie, what's the question? Let me open your microphone, Julie. Yes, Julie, what's the question? Okay, Julie, you can talk now.
I don't. How to say? No entendí bien.
Okay, you didn't understand.
The significance of descent.
Descent is like to go down, to walk down. Descender, to go down.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay.
The little image there, it's the person that is going down the stairs.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Okay, you're welcome. Now, the other image is forza, it's like to observe, to look. Yes, Pablo, what's the question? Pablo, what's the question?
Teacher, I don't have a question. It's because it's not significant. This is meaning.
No, it could be definition, it could be meaning, it could be significant.
Yeah, but teacher, it can be significance too.
No.
Mm.
Okay.
It's
So,
because it's similar that significate.
now it's like the meaning, the definition, okay? So now, thank you, Pablo. We are going to continue with the words. Right now, we'll continue answering the questions. Wait, I'm going to put an image of rappel, which is going to be here. Okay. Forza is like to observe, to see, to watch. That's like to forza, okay? That's forza. Now, students, rappel, it's going to be like when you are going down a mountain, you're doing rappel. That's what the little girl there in the image is doing. She's doing rappel. That's rappel, okay? Now we're going to go to the next words, which is ridge, shaft, ridge. Okay, start copying the images. Okay. Ridge, students, there are a lot of mountains. Like, for example, I'm going to put, you can do it, you don't have to do it like very, that's ridge, like a lot of mountains. Okay, you can do it very simple. You don't need to do it very elaborated. You can go ahead and just do like color draw some mountains, ridge. There are a lot of mountains together. That's rich when you have a lot of mountains. Okay, the rich. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, I'm going through the word shaft. Okay, student, a shaft, it's like a little, like a little screw. Okay, I'm going to copy the image so you can go ahead and observe what is a shaft. The shaft is used in the skateboards, in the cars. In Spanish, we know it like un eje, eje de guía. When you use it in the skateboard, for example, when you are having your bike, you have a bicycle. In the middle of the wheel, there's a shaft. There's a eje, un eje, like to hold the tire. That's a shaft. Un eje. It's like a guide. It's un eje de guía. Okay, trek. It's like to walk in the mountains. I'm going to put you an image. Remember, you don't have to draw this type of images. You can go and draw similar. Just you can draw a stick person walking in the mountains. Okay, you don't have to draw all that. And the last word is void. Void. It's like let me tell you what's void. Okay, void is like an empty space where something is, there's nothing, when there's nothing. But it's, let me put an image so you can give an idea of what's void. Let me go ahead and put the image. Give me a second. Okay, I'm looking for the image of void. Continue students writing there. Okay, very good. So here it is. Right now I'm going to answer the questions, don't worry. Okay, void students, there's no image for void because void means there's an empty space. That means that there is nothing, like an empty space. In the sky, we can see a lot of voids that are empty and empty spaces. So those are the words, students. Those are the images. Copy them in your notebook, please. I'm going to start answering the questions. Pablo, what's the question? Let me open your microphone, Pablo. Pablo, no question, Pablo. Your microphone is open. Try opening your microphone.
Okay. I don't have a question. And well, I want to say that I wanted to say that I know what was void, but you already put it.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Pablo. Let me open this question. Yes, MC? What's the question, MC?
Sure, what is foresaw?
Foresaw, it's like to observe, to watch, observar. Okay. Bruno, what's the question, Bruno? Open your microphone, Bruno.
Mr. Shaft doesn't want a cabaña.
Which one?
Shaft.
No,
What cabaña?
cabaña is shaft with the double F, shaft.
Ah, shaft.
Yes, shaft is like un eje. Okay. Now, Elisa, what's the question?
Teacher, what is ridge?
Ridge, a lot of mountains together. Okay. Very good, Elisa. Lia Lagarda, what's the question? You don't see what? You don't see what?
The number 7.
Trek. Okay, trek is like to go up in a mountain, like when you are escalando, that's what it means. When you're walking in the mountain. Okay. Very good. Now, Julie, last question. What's the question, Julie? Okay, right now, I will ask you a question. Julie, what's your question?
What is foresaw?
Foresaw. It's like to observe. Okay? Observar, foresaw, look. That's foresaw. Okay. Nona, what's your question, Alondra?
I don't know so much what is shaft.
Shaft, okay. When you are using a bicycle,
Yeah.
when you are using your bicycle, what happens? Okay. In the middle of the tire, what holds the tire to the bike, the thing that holds the tire to the bike